Welcome to Argo News, Fall 2015. This is our final show.
Our hearts, prayers, and support go out to the victims of the Paris terrorist attacks and their families.
Although Veterans Day has come and gone, there are still ways to support your veterans here in Pensacola.
Looking for a way to honor those who have served your country? Well, here's a way you can report for duty.
We are a not-for-profit foundation that is licensed to the city for the stewardship of the Veterans Memorial Park here in Pensacola. The park is a city park, but it is completely developed and maintained and further developed by donations. And our board is made up of veterans or family members of veterans. And with that charter, we try to educate the community about our memorials, about our past wars, and it's all about memorializing the sacrifices of those who have died in service to their country. Today is Veterans Day, and Veterans Day, as established by Congress, is to celebrate the patriotism and the sacrifices made by those who have volunteered to serve their country. Well, we've already had, or it is still in progress, a parade from downtown which terminates here at the park, and then we'll have a ceremony. It'll start at 11 o'clock. The 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month. So the symbology of Armistice Day from World War I. Admiral Quinn will be our guest speaker, and we'll have a high school color guard and another high school student sing the national anthem, and it'll be a great celebration.
So with Veterans Day or any other day, be sure to thank a veteran for their service. One way you could help is by going to veteransmemorialparkpensacola.com or by calling 434-6119 and supporting the Pensacola Memorial Park Foundation by either donating or helping to volunteer. And to any veterans out there watching on this lovely Veterans Day, I would like to thank you veterans, past, present, or future, for your service. I'm Argo News reporter Jared Perez, reporting for Argo News.
As the holidays approach, it is important not to miss any of the UWF Christmas culture. The theater department is putting on a product of a classic story with a new twist.
Are you ready for a peek behind the curtain to see the technical side of theater productions?
So I am the technical director for the UWF Department of Theater, and that entails running the scene shop and making sure that all of the technical elements of any production are achieved. Typically we start 6 weeks out from when we get into what we call tech rehearsals, which is the last week of rehearsals, and it starts with the design process. So it can take us anywhere from 6 weeks, sometimes less, depending on the size of the show. Our average musical will take us just roughly about 5 to 6 weeks to totally build from start to finish and paint to end, putting up onto the stage. I have to say, working for UWF is great. The students are very dedicated and they want to learn theater and they want to be in the scene shop and working in the technical theater and backstage. Overall, the students are great, which makes UWF a great experience for me. This particular production is our 8th annual Christmas Carol. There are scenic elements that have been made in the past, but this year we're adding new elements. So my job is to make sure those new elements match in with the older pieces that were built either before I got here or have been built since I've been here. But then also I'm dealing with a brand new sound design for the show, which has a lot more sound effects than we've used in the past. This one has a new, darker twist to it. It's a Christmas Carol, A Ghost Story of Christmas, which means it's got a lot more darker elements thematic to it. It's darker than it has been in the past. It's a longer version. This is actually going to have an intermission for once. But the darker version allows for us to add new ghosts to it. There's more than just the traditional Marley and 3 ghosts. You'll have to come see the show to find out about those, though.
You can catch a showing of A Christmas Carol December 4th through the 13th. Tickets are available online and at the UWF box office. I'm Tyler Simmons reporting for Argo News.
The communication industry is expanding every day, but how does UWF get its communications students prepared?
From the chairman to the faculty and staff, the University of West Florida's Communications Department has great things in store for its students.
The vision of the department is to produce graduates who are able to compete in a marketplace that increasingly is integrated. We at one time had very large walls between journalism, public relations, advertising. Those walls don't exist anymore. So we're changing the curriculum and providing our students with a more integrated curriculum in the hope and belief that when they graduate, they'll be more competitive in the marketplace. Number one, the ability to be flexible and adaptable. In today's marketplace, it used to be true that you could be a very good writer and succeed easily. Now you have to be good at a number of tasks. So be flexible, be adaptable. Number two, be persistent. A certain percentage of graduates will be unemployed when they graduate. That's okay. Don't give up. Keep striving. Eventually you will be successful. And number three, be open to geographical change. I find a lot of students who say, you know, I really only want to work in Northwest Florida. That limits yourself. There's a whole wide country out there and a whole wide world. If your first job happens to be in Lincoln, Nebraska, get to love Nebraska. The restructuring of the undergraduate curriculum. It's always quite a process to redo an entire curriculum, but we did. Starting in the fall of 2016, we'll have a new 4-course core, and then after students complete that 4-course core, they can take any other course in the entire department they want as long as they meet the prerequisites. The entire department came together and did that, and I think, as looking back on the time that I've been here, that has been the best accomplishment the department has achieved.
Providing an excellent workforce is exactly what the University of West Florida's Communications Department is trying to do. I'm Jasmine Granger, reporting for Argo News.
This week at the 8th Annual Emerald Coast Best Robotics Competition, there was an overflow of young minds with big ideas.
Here at UWF, middle school and high school students try their best to win the Emerald Coast Best Robotics Competition.
The main point is to engage, excite, and inspire middle and high school students to pursue careers in STEM fields, which STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The competition is open to any high school or middle school, or even this year we had some homeschools. So as long as it's a homeschool group, they're welcome, and we really have no restrictions. Our only restriction is that the participants have to be under 18 years of age. This is a competition that's not just for students interested in engineering, it's also students that are interested in say, business and marketing, for instance, because the booths can be more of a marketing tool. And also in art. I mean, we've got a t-shirt competition too that the students have got to participate in and design their own t-shirt for each team. So we rely on our sponsors locally to run this event. This year the sponsors were AT&T, Gulf Power, International Paper, App River were our corporate sponsors. And we also have 2 professional engineering societies that had stepped up. They sponsor everything and make this competition free for any participating schools. We're trying to, like I said, inspire students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And hopefully some of those students will choose UWF in the future. Another thing it does is it allows us, and here both staff and faculty, to reach out to local schools, middle schools and high schools, and basically develop a nice network with those science teachers in those schools and help them with any assistance that they need, because we have some very, very good science teachers in the community that are excellent at robotics, but there's a few that are really hesitant to get involved with robotics because that may not be their background. So we go ahead and we help them out, and ultimately what I think it will do is, I mean, they're our best recruiting tool. If they've got good students, say, hey, why don't you give UWF a chance?
If you'd like to learn more about the UWF Emerald Coast Best Robotics Competition, you can email Dr. Regis at bregis@uwf.edu. I'm Erin Lothar, reporting for Argo News.
A small effort can go a long way, especially when volunteering for local organizations in need.
Are you looking for a way to pass time and help your community? Well, the Pensacola Humane Society may be the place for you.
The Pensacola Humane Society is a location that you can relinquish dogs and cats if you have to, a great location to find your new best friend, whether it's a dog or a cat or the occasional rabbit that we may get. And it's also a place that can educate the community as far as proper pet ownership and education about spaying and neutering. The adoption process at the Humane Society is fairly simple. You come in, pick out an animal, fall in love with them. We do have you fill out a couple of requests to make sure that you have all of the guidelines and have the proper means to care for an animal all its life, not just month to month. So as a volunteer, you are able to interact with dogs as long as you're over the age of 18. At any age under the 18, you can interact with our cats and kittens. And you don't only have to walk with dogs or socialize our cats. You can do yard work, help at different adoption events, especially our fundraising events such as our doggy bathe-ins or Barktoberfest, which is our largest event that we always need volunteers for. You name it, we can find a place there for someone. Our goal is to definitely find as many animals homes as possible. Not only to find them homes, but to educate the community as well as what a proper pet owner should be doing and how they should care for their animal. You can always come down to the Pensacola Humane Society located at 5 North Q Street, or you can look online at pensacolahumane.org for all of our information about hours, adoption guidelines, intake guidelines, volunteer options as well.
So be sure to donate some time to an animal in need. I'm Sam Shields reporting for Argo News.
With sites, culture, and more, Pensacola is known to have great festivals. Let's take a look at the latest.
Once again, it's another great weekend of art, food, and fun in downtown Pensacola.
This is our 43rd year, and we have over 200 artists in the Seville Square area for our fine art section. We have 64 artists in heritage arts who do some of the traditional kinds of demonstration techniques. We've got a pop-up hot shop for glass blowing. We have a variety of food. We have seafood, we have pastries. Everybody loves the pastry booth. We have an ice cream trolley, so just a variety of foods. So that's in Fountain Park. Symphony Orchestra is going to be here on Sunday afternoon, and they're just a wide range of performers from either local or other artists who are coming in to perform. We give back in several ways. We give grants to local art organizations, and we also give scholarships to students from both UWF and Pensacola State College. You don't have to know anything about art. It's just a great festival experience you can enjoy. Some of the artists actually have musical instruments that they are making and selling, so you really don't have to know anything about art. Just come and enjoy the great festival experience.
If you missed this year's Great Gulf Coast Arts Festival, have no fear. You can catch it every year, the first full weekend of November. I'm Shakina Duncan, reporting for Argo News.
If you've ever wanted to learn the art of blowing glass or are curious how it's done, we may know the place for you.
Fufu Festival is taking over Pensacola this week. I'm here at the First City Arts Center at the Fufu on Fire event, where there is hands-on glass blowing demonstrations, good food, and live music.
I've been blowing glass for 35 years. I got started because I needed an art credit for a psychology major. So it was one of those darn required courses that they make it take. And I just fell in love with it. And I've been real fortunate to be able to do this as a living for 35 years. And, you know, it's a fun thing to be able to do something you love as a living. I mean, you know, and every day you're learning something. Every piece you make, you learn something. So it's a continuous thing, and you just want to apply what you've learned as quickly as you can. So after getting out of college and getting my own shop, it was like you started making a lot more progress, and you could see your progress much more readily. Basically, glass blowing is just gathering of molten glass, and you can either blow it. I mean, it can be sculpted. It doesn't have to be blown. Pieces can be solid. But when you're blowing and gathering glass, you're building up in layers. And you can add colors on any of the layers. So you can do layers in depths, layers on top of other pieces, and you can do design on the outside of the pieces, you know. So there's a lot of different ways of adding, you know, the decoration at the different depths. I've done some skulls with the horns that are 3-part pieces, and the horns get attached hot. So it's a pretty amazing thing to have on the end of a pipe, a whole head with horns, and so that's probably one of the most challenging pieces I've done. And it requires a team of blowers, you know, and I'm normally blow by myself. So to get together a group of guys that I'm familiar with, that we can work together, was a pretty chore in itself.
You too can learn how to blow glass. Visit their website at firstcityart.org. I'm Lindsay Tebow reporting for Argo News.
What do the sun, wind, and water all have in common? Argo News reporter David Cook has the answer.
Interested in learning about alternative energy sources while in a fun environment with music, arts and crafts, and food? Look no further than the Pensacola Clean Energy Festival being put on by 350 Pensacola.
The director of 350 Pensacola, one of the founders of the organization. We've been around for 5 years, got together after the BP oil spill, and our emphasis is climate change and transitioning to clean energy and away from fossil fuels. We see that, transportation, our energy use in our homes is causing a very big impact on our environment. So what we're here today doing is showing people that we can make a difference, in our communities. We can start here, and we can start in Florida by transitioning to clean energy, and there are people out here today that have solutions, to do things in your home, gardening and transportation, all of that. It is our first Clean Energy Fest. We've had great success today, and we're learning from it. We're learning that people really want this kind of programming. They want to know about what they can do in their communities. We would like to see it more readily available, that people realize that they can do something in their lives. And I think that by education, by showing that it can be fun, that they can speak to other people about it, that you have people in the community that are working on these solutions, that in the next year, in the next 5 years, we'll see some change in the community. We'll see more bike paths, we'll see more electric cars on the road, and we'll see more solar panels on top of homes.
For more information on alternative energy sources and 350 Pensacola, be sure to check out www.350.org. I'm David Cook, reporting for Argo News.
With the holidays right around the corner, staying fit is in the back of everyone's minds. UWF offers many ways to stay in shape and show off your skills.
Whether you're looking to display your athletic abilities in a friendly competition or just have fun, UWF's Intramural Sports League may be for you.
Someone should consider playing if they have a competitive side in them and want to take a break from studying or there's work and just go out for a few days a week and compete and maybe take a little stress off. Some challenges for the intramural sports teams are involvement. Intramurals really encourages female involvement, and so sometimes they have to throw together teams at the end, and so it's not as competitive. Or sometimes there might be too many people that signed up, which is always a good thing, and they're on a wait list. It adds more games, and sometimes you have teams that sign up and don't have their whole team together. They just wanted to sign in, so they had a secured spot. And so if they don't have their team together or were able to make more openings, then that's a way to get off the wait list and get in and play. Yeah, you apply for it like you would for any other job. You go through the interview process, and then they tell you if you got the job or not. And then they go through everything, and then if you are working for the sport, like say volleyball or flag football, the week before it actually all starts, you go through a training process to learn the sport calls and hand signals.
To find out more information, you can go visit UWF's Intramural Sports League website at imleagues.com. I'm Jordan Soto reporting for Argo News.
Ready to get in shape for the holidays and start living a healthy lifestyle? Well, there just might be a personal trainer for you.
Ready to get fit before and after the holidays? Stay tuned.
I decided to become a personal trainer because I've always loved working out, and I eventually got picked up by a local gym here in Pensacola, and with me doing that, I realized how much it helped others with their health. People would lose weight, be able to come off medicine, be able to move better, and from that point on, I just realized how much it helped other people and not just myself. The experience that I have in personal training is that I'm ISSA certified. I've been training for about 2 years now. I've been certified since July of 2014. My coaching style for my clients is a fun environment, but still very serious. My go-to way to track progress is definitely weight and measurements. I really do preach nutrition to my clients over and over again because I want them to realize you can't outwork a bad diet no matter how much you come in the gym and work. If you're not putting in the same effort in the kitchen and watching what you're eating, then you're gonna have a hard time accomplishing those goals. My DVD is Temple Builders Beachbody Ready Workout. It's available for you to do it in the comfort of your own home. It's for various fitness levels from beginner, intermediate, all the way up to advanced. My DVD is $20 and it's available at templebuildersfn.com, so templebuilderfn.com. The current gym that I train at is Anytime Fitness in West Pensacola off of Highway 98 across from Navy Federal. The physical address is 9075 US 98, Pensacola, Florida.
For more information, you can contact Omar Moore at moremarpt@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm Talila Howard reporting for Argo News.
Home is where the heart is, and many UWF students are heading that way over the next couple of weeks. Here are some tips to keep you safe on your way over the river and through the woods.
Holiday decorations around town are going up. Students are beginning to study for finals. But one thing that most students don't take into account is holiday travel.
If you're traveling by car, we recommend that you tell someone your schedule. For example, if you get delayed or something happens, people will start to worry, but if someone has your schedule, they'll know where you should be. And you want to make sure your car is in good working order. You certainly don't want to break down out of town. You want to plan a second route in case you need it. There could be delays, there could be a bad accident, so planning a second route is always helpful. You want to always lock your car, of course. And if you're going to have valuables, we recommend you put them in the trunk. And you want to put them in the trunk before you get to your destination. You want to know where you are. And what I'm saying is if you're on the interstate and you get into an accident and you don't know where you are, it can be tricky getting help. Your GPS may or may not work depending on your signal. You want to have your emergency contact information with you. I recommend you write it down and pack it in your bag or carry it on your person in case you can't speak for yourself. We always recommend UWF students add us as a contact to the cell phone. You know, if you get into an accident, something happens, the troopers are trained to look for, in case of emergency, ICE. But what we have found is ICE is often out of date or doesn't answer the phone, so they'll keep looking at your contacts. If they see anything that says police, they'll call. You want to bring a copy of your driver's license and insurance and your credit card information. Just in case your wallet is stolen, it'll be a lot easier to get these things replaced if you have that information.
Chief Warren has instructed that if you are in need of help over the holiday season, to call the UWF Police Department at 474-2415 or the Florida Highway Patrol at Star FHP. I'm Travis Bennett reporting for Argo News.
Thank you for joining us on our final show. We'll be back in January 2016 for more episodes. You can also find us on YouTube at Argo News Fall 2015 in the meantime.
And for all you Argos graduating in a couple of weeks, congratulations. Now go out there and make a splash.
Happy holidays.